I'm live. There we go. Oh, God. Oh, oh, God, no, I need more honey. I really hurt my voice again. Oh, that's all right. I'm not going to be screaming out and shouting out to anybody. So, and this stuff is so thick. Oh, my God. Now, again, I need honey. This is terrible. Oh, my God. My voice is so bad. Mm, I really need more honey. This is bad. Anyhow, good morning, everybody. Don't know who's there. Don't know who's not. It's all good, whatever it is, whatever the case may be. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is 5 a.m. and the idiot is awake. Oh. Well, my last look was 20 books. I'm not looking again for a while. I was too depressed after the help, everybody. Um, Amazon has their own world and has their own thing about books. Um, and one of their key things, one of their triggers, or one of their algorithms, or whatever you want to call it, um, God, I really hurt my voice, is um, as to book reviews. Now, you all know Bobby put his up, and I just found out this morning Jerry put his up. Um, and I know it's a lot to ask. I really do. Because a lot of you don't want to be known, don't want to be seen, and what have you. And I greatly appreciate that. I do. That's kind of why we anonymously float around a lot of the channels and a lot of the live streams and don't speak up. And I get it. But even if I've sent you the book, and I'm not asking you to give me a positive review, it doesn't matter. But even if I've sent you the book, it's a matter of getting Amazon to use their advertising budget to get the word out. So I'm not asking any, I've asked and I will continue to ask. I need help, twerkers or whatever all that other um, BS is. It's just about going to Amazon saying, I had a box of crayons so I could color in the blank pages, but whatever. Just reviews, good or bad, doesn't matter. I need the help. The more there are, it triggers the advertising. So it'll push the book into other categories on Amazon. It would be greatly appreciated. Those of you that do have the book, please, you know, email me, chew me out, tell me I'm an idiot, tell me I wasted my time. It's all good. Just so that I know the books are out and people are actually reading them. Bobby's still stuck on making coffee. He still has not accomplished that. That's not done. Um, Iron Dog still hasn't gotten past page 5. I mean, it is what it is. It's a pretty cover. It's whatever. Um, but all kidding aside, no, I really need those Amazon book reviews. That's not why I sent anybody books. Please don't misunderstand that. Um, I appreciate all of you. I appreciate all the help. I appreciate what you guys have done. Even if you no intentions of even using the book other than it's glossy, so you might actually be able to put a cup of coffee here, spill some coffee on this thing, and wash it off. So it might make a good coaster. And I understand that, and that all works. Um, what have you, Chef? If you're watching this, thank you, sir. I I didn't. I thank you. Um, that's not why I mentioned it, and that's not why I told you about the book. Um, it was not my intention um, to solicit any kind of response like that. But I do. I greatly appreciate it. You have no idea. Uh, so much going on. So much going on. I have no. I yeah. I can't. I can't explain it. Just too much going on. Um, Signed copies. I know there's contests going on. 1 and 2 books here, 1 and 2 books there. Um, I understand mail is kind of screwed up, and a couple of people have not received their books for contests. Um, the tracking numbers say they're out for delivery. That's the last I understood. I don't know. It's the United States Postal Service. They do their own thing. They have their own rules. Um, whatever. If the wind's not blowing the correct way or something, they may not open their door and just drive past your mailbox that day because they might get wet if the wind blows in there. Whatever. Um, God, here we go again, and I'm still buffering. I don't understand this neighborhood. Whatever, whatever the case may be. Um, but yeah, I need the Amazon book reviews, everybody. If you've gotten a book and you don't mind, um, please, go to Amazon and post in there how bad it is. It would, it's pretty cover and it'll make a good coaster on the table. Um, it I don't know. It's kind of thin enough. It might work in replacement of a wisp broom with a shovel or something. Um, whatever. I mean, a bag at least. Um, you could always plant the pages and stick them in the ground. They'll break down. They're biodegradable. There was no way of me ordering any special paper, which would have been cool, but that didn't happen. Oh, I appreciate that. I was starting to wonder. The room's looking empty. It's all good. Hey, I'm just here to hang out. I killed my voice yesterday, so I probably shouldn't be doing this today. But people start reading when they can, if they can. Um, I'm still seeing some mistakes I'm not happy with. I am not going to do a second edition to fix it. That's not going to happen. But some of the stuff that I told them that was supposed to be here, and some of the places and placement of some of the stuff that's in this book is wrong. It's not what I done. Not even close. Fucking millennials can't listen to basic instructions. I hear that a lot. I really do. It's amazing. They're told that work starts at 8 o'clock, so they leave their house at 8 o'clock and think they should be paid for their drive time. People are out of their tree. I don't get it. How we're going to get these people to start gardening and taking care of their yards, Bobby? I don't know. If this book doesn't do it, it might just be time for baseball bats or something. Because, dude, it can't. It doesn't get any simpler than this. Whatever. Whatever. Is what it is. Moving on. Yeah, I need those Amazon reviews, everybody. I need their advertising budget. Um, because our small circle of people, our small circle of friends, our small group of friends here on YouTube, um, didn't buy books. It didn't sell. Um, I mean, I can put the shout out and I can make the statement. Um, I desperately need to sell 10 signed copies um, in a week. Desperately. Um, but even when we put it out there, um, I think I sold two, maybe three, maybe three total books were sold signed copies. That's it. Um, and that's okay. I mean, I can write it off to advertising budget, but at the same time, um, um, and that means I've got to change gears and I've got to change tactics and head elsewhere. um, to find larger groups, or reach other avenues. Webmaster is not selling any. He's directly linked to the web page, and we've um, once that is completed and once that's put together and he's completely satisfied with it and wants to put his name on it, because even at this point, I'm not pushing it. I want the best out of the man, but at his leisure. Um, but he's directly linked to sell books off that website, um, so that he gets paid for being the webmaster in the book sales. And we're not referencing that at all. Who cares? But it's coming. That's a completely different avenue. I tried to explain to him, um, that the publisher has been instructed to take the advertising budget and the advertising ideas and that arena and go a completely different direction. They are to go after the real estate market, which would be the Century 21 type people, and that kind of stuff. Because this is a great gift for a new homeowner. This is something they can give away as free gifts for even, whatever the case may be. That's the market that this was aimed at. Is the millennials purchasing new homes, and that's where the advertising budget is supposed to go, um, so that we can carry this in a completely different direction. And all of that is pointed to the main webpage. It's not directed at YouTube. Um, so the YouTube side of it is a completely different, as you know, Bobby. This is a completely different world. These are some really weird people out here. It's YouTube. Um, yeah, and that's the direction we're going to take this. So as much as I should reference greenwizardguide.com, not the Green Wizards Guide, but greenwizardsguide.com. That's the direction we're taking the website, and all the advertising budget is heading that way. Um, Dude, just come over to the other page. Sorry, guys. Facebook. Hey, it is what it is. I don't care. Life goes on. Um, so yeah, I was shocked this morning. Bobby, where is he now? 38,000. Yeah, 38,000 channel size. Subscribed to me today, and is looking into the book. And it's completely different genre. Nothing like we would expect. But as I think it through, I guess it would make sense. Um, some of those guys would be gardening, um, for their own purposes of cooking. It's a barbecue channel. It's huge, very popular out of Texas. Um, and I've been a friend of his for a while, since he first really started live streaming and stuff. And you know me, I try to help those that are new. Um, and he's got a lot going on. He's a professional chef. He works at a culinary college, teaching. Plus, he does his road, barbecue station, what have you, competition. Guy's incredible, great guy. Um, but yeah, he's coming after the book. I'm shocked again, just like Jerry. Um, and don't misunderstand, Bobby. I'm not saying that you're not being helpful and you're not there and you're not a good friend and what have you. But these guys are popping up out of nowhere, um, when they were never asked. Um, just like the chef didn't even know I was writing a book. Jerry really, he knew I was into something, but he didn't know what was going on. For him to pop up out of nowhere, grab the book and run. Um, yeah. So back to it. Yeah, and those are the the what do they call them? Unsolicited. Yeah, unsolicited reviews, unsolicited help. Um, so as the bigger channels wake up, or people drive this down their throats, um, just like Buddy was after a specific channel, um, on it, and I understand. Um, I get it. They've got a real delicate balance on their own channel. So they got to be careful what they say and what they review and what they do. Um, and, because they're big enough to make a difference, but they're small enough that drama could hurt their channel. Um, so I get what they're doing. Um, hey, Mr. Franco, good morning. Uh, Johnny. Oh, the reason I turned this on Amazon reviews. Um, there's an advertising budget there, and I'm sure you understand where I'm going. The more reviews, the higher up the chain you go in the algorithm, and they start advertising the book for you. Obviously, because the more that sell, the more money they make. And it's the weird thing is, and I tried to explain that the other morning. Um, if you look at the sales side of the page, um, directly below the price, it had a thing there about um, if you're an Amazon Prime member, you can still get the book in 2 days. And then like a space or so down, and then another slot, there's another spot that says expected wait time of like 6 to 8 weeks for delivery of the book. So something's not adding up. Something's not right. I think they're just doing a CYA. Um, oh, John, if it's a bad book, don't say the truth. I'm not. I'm not. Don't. Please don't. Um, if it doesn't entertain you, if you don't learn anything, if I'm completely off my rocker, say so. Any review, and I'm buffering out again. Oh, sorry, it's buffering again on my side. I am so sorry, everybody. I have no idea what's going on. I'm going to need to place a phone call. It's costing me too much to have buffering. Anyhow, any review, good or bad, John, it's going to help me. So just give me an honest review. Just because everybody else and Jerry's Woodworking and Outdoors, if you're going to do a posted book review, um, it's Jerry's Woodworking and Outdoors, and there is a link on one of my other um, BS wrap things. But it's Jerry's. It might be Wood Shop. Hold on. Oh my God. Uh, Actually, let me just grab the correct link because it's Jerry's Wood Shop. Yep, I'm saying the wrong thing. It's Jerry's Wood Shop. If you plan on posting a review, there's this big competition going on. He has upped the game, and I'm going to estimate about $100 in prizes with handcrafted stuff that he himself made. Jump in and if especially if you're going to say something about the book or do a little blurb about the book to your group, um, you'll gain another entry. Being friends of ours, you'll gain an entry. Hook to him, hook to me. That's an entry. Um, Doing a VR or whatever the heck that means or whatever the correct words are. A video review. Doing a video review real quick about the book. That's another one. And what was the other? Oh, there's a typo in the book. If you can find it and email him as to what it is, what word it is, and on what page it is, that's a third chance. So there's three possibilities of entry. If you're interested, um, all what ifs. It's your call, buddy. I mean, it's all. Yeah, there's one. It's a big one. Um, Iron Dog thought he found it within the first 5 pages, and I had to correct him and say, no, that's not where it is. It's past page 50. That's all I'll say. I don't want to. I think Bobby fell asleep finally. He's been up all night. Um, but yeah, I need book reviews. If you know anybody that got the book that liked it or disliked it, please ask them to get on Amazon because it kicks up the advertising budget, and they will give me a little more Facebook space. Um, and please be honest. Um, I get it. I'm an idiot, and this thing, has been 5 years of my life, and um, um, yeah. But yeah, and I appreciate it, John. And I know you're not gonna hang out this morning. It's all good. Go check out everybody else. I know everybody else is on. Um, I just wanted to get on and thank a couple of people that have stepped up. Uh, uh, regardless, some really big channels have popped out of nowhere, um, and have said a couple of things. Um, oh, so he okay. I'm watching the numbers, even though I know better, and I know half the time that stuff's not true. Um, they're so worried about what we do as what you guys, the creators, do. They can't even get their own stuff working correctly. So, whatever the case may be. Um, some big channels have jumped in, and have said some stuff to me. I'm desperately trying to find um, other big channels, other genres, um, like the gray man groups and the survivalists and what I don't know those channels, and I'm struggling trying to find them, um, and trying to even get them to consider looking at the book. I just don't know what direction to turn. I don't know what names they're hiding under. I don't know what if they're even using keywords in a search that I would be able to find them. Um, yeah, it's a struggle on the YouTube side, um, and sales are not good. Um, and yeah, hey, it is what it is. I need to sell 10 immediately, 10 signed copies. Um, we didn't sell two the first week out. Even before that, in pre-sale, we didn't even sell two. So what I desperately need, what's going to happen, are two completely different things. I get it. Our small group of friends, our small circle of friends, um, signed copied books are expensive. I get it, but people have to understand. It cost me $15.08 to get the book here, and then I've got to ship it to them. Um, the post office is charging me $1.78 per the bubble wrap package, and then it's the shipping rate from here to wherever in the United States or into Canada, what have you. So I'm making next to nothing if I'm not spending money to send it. Yes, I did order envelopes. They'll be here eventually. They're going to replace the post office. That's going to alleviate that and help a little bit, but it's still an advertising budget I don't have. Um, but we'll get there. We'll get there. One step at a time. I wrote the book. I don't understand all this sales stuff. I don't understand. Reach to my accountant and say, write off everything you possibly can, because um, this is costing me a small fortune. I need your help. And she does a beautiful job. She's on it. Now, even though the Obama laws have changed and screwed up the taxes, and it's cost me twice as much this year, and I now drastically owe, and they want to blame Trump. No, people don't understand. The laws don't work that way. That's not how fast it comes through the system. The screwed up taxes this year are Obama's taxes. Period. 9% of the people missed it. They think that what you know what Trump does today is law tomorrow. They don't understand that there's a whole process. And when it comes to that illegal corporation that still is not on the books, called the IRS, it takes years before that comes into effect and actually affects us. And years ago, who was in office? Obama. There you go. End of conversation. These are his rules applying to our taxes this year. Bend over. We're taking it. We got to pay for all those Obama phones and all of that other handout stuff he did. Um, but that's where we're at. Hey, there's a third person sneaked in the door. Anyhow, John, there's a contest. There's the link. If you're going to do anything, jump on it. Like I said, it's $100 value, give or take. He custom made a knife. You can actually watch him make the knife. It's incredible. That's on its way out to get its own custom made sheath. He has this incredible ferro rod, 6 inches long. It's a fire starting stick, and I call it dragon's breath because if you've played with a ferro rod before, you get a little bit of spark that go, a couple inches. This thing throws them at least 3 feet. It's awesome. Um, um, Unbelievable, unbelievable. So if you're gonna do anything along these lines, jump in the contest, get involved. Um, I know Bobby did compete, and Bobby has been on this winning streak. Maybe this isn't his year, so maybe he won't win. But um, hey, you just never know. And if you're gonna say anything nice about the book, and I appreciate it, and you wanted to do a video, and I can't thank you enough. Um, you might as well get in on the contest at the same time. There's a bunch of people there that'll view it, um, and your own people will view it. So it's a win-win. It could bring you some more people, buddy. Just I think that's the whole reason for the VR part of it is that when everybody starts talking about the thing, it just expands exponentially. Um, and if you're looking to do giveaways, John, and you need a little bit of something, my advertising, what have you, I can write those off so I can send something to help out. So whatever. Um, hey, I'm trying to reach Grandpa too. All American Grandpa. If you're hiding in there, you're hiding in the background. You know I'm after you. I need your email. Um, you need to email me today. We discussed it yesterday, and anybody that's got All American Grandpa, go yell at him. The wizard needs his email, and he needs to get in touch with me today. And no is not an answer, regardless of his circumstances. Um, um, but yeah, anyhow. So the whole point of me turning this on, and anybody else that may jump into this later and or view this later, um, and I'm going to leave this one up this time, even though I have no recommendation. So um, get the book; it'll help your yard. Um, it's a very simple thing to open up the ground and get it aerating again. And that's part of what people are not understanding. If your yard is aerating, and no, don't get a punch aerator that pulls the slugs out of the ground. No, you're killing off your root base. Don't do that. You need a slice aerator or a nail aerator, or even the old spike golf shoes. You've got to watch which one you get. Now there's a new vibrating one. It's expensive, but it'll vibrate and go into the ground. Regardless of what we're thinking here, the worms will come in and they will naturally aerate all the ground, but they've got to have something to be after. There's something else you can do that will use nature and use some resources in nature to naturally aerate the soil and penetrate deep into the soil. Um, so as much as you need aeration in your yard, um, nature will handle it. There's just a few steps you have to take to get to that point, or you can mechanically get it started and help yourself out. What I would tell somebody, a new homeowner, especially after they've had all that equipment and had front end loaders and bobcats and this, that, and the other running around the yards, and everything is impacted and everything is crushed down and nothing's moving. Um, I would strongly, strongly, strongly suggest renting a piece of equipment from Home Depot or something and going out and vibrating the ground, slicing the ground open, and starting the aeration process for for grass roots to grow. They need sunlight and they need water. And the deeper you go with the air and the water, the deeper the grass roots will grow. The things that are in the book will assist that in tremendous forms. But you have to keep in mind, after impaction, nothing's going to grab a hold, and the clay bed's going to get worse in that spot. It will exponentially expand as it's compacted. So you may have to help nature a little bit and crack some of that open. Um, and that's not like walking around with a shovel and pushing it side to side and what that. No, in a little yard, maybe, but um, help Mother Nature out a little bit. Crack that soil open with a machine, or with a tow behind, or something. Do not rototill, and then apply the substance I suggest. Like I said, the solutions in the book. Um, and get your soil allowing aeration and saturation. They're one in the same. So as the aeration gets in, the liquefaction gets in. The rain that comes no longer sits there; it soaks into the yard. Flooding circumstances go away. As you see it on the news, and everybody's screaming, "Oh my God, we have flash flood situations!" That's the chemical issues. That's what's destroying everything. The chemicals being used have caused this circumstance, and we've in essence we've glazed over our yard, legitimately glazed over it, and the soil can't absorb any liquid. Easiest explanation I can give anyone, and this is the way to think about your yard when it comes to this water situation. Take two sticky notes, two pieces of paper, and a dropper of water. Now, on one piece of paper with a box of crayons, I want you to pick three colors, because you're going to have the start of your year, which is going to be your weed and feed. And I want you to take that Crayola crayon, and I want you to cover that whole sticky note as much as you would put down weed and feed. That's spring. Now I want you to put down just fertilizer, a different color, and go a different direction, because anytime you put chemicals down, anytime you put anything down on your yard or cut your grass, you should always be going different directions: north, south, east, west, diagonal, zigzag, circles, whatever. Always change it up. Always give it a different look. You don't want to contribute to the compaction problem. You want to go the opposite direction and let the vacuum of your lawnmower help you get things working correctly. But so now let's go into summer and put your second color on. Now in the fall, you may put down more nitrogen. You may put down another prep. So grab another color and color the paper another direction. Now set those two pieces of paper down. I want you to take the dropper, and I want you to get the first piece of paper wet and watch how that water soaks in and expands. That's nature. That's the nature side. Now take the other one that's been all chemicalized from store-bought weed and feed, and nitrogen builder, and what have you, potentially three passes, and drop some water on that. Notice the water doesn't soak in, it just sits there all pristine and like it's sitting on wax. That's what these chemicals are doing to the food web. And that's why we have flash flooding on a quarter inch of rain. That's why we have zero water soaking into yards, and we have to continue watering and watering and watering, trying to do something, trying to break up the soil. Once it's compacted, it's compacted. If you don't change something, it's going to stay compacted. With the introduction of the solutions in the book, it's going to change those circumstances and will stop flash flooding. Yards will start maintaining water. You won't need to is soaked in, the water really penetrated, it's spread out. If you put multiple pieces of paper on that sticky note, the water's actually gone through. That's the ideal conditions. Nature's one where you've used chemical right through the crayon. That's what's going on. And it's global, everybody. Whether you're putting chemical, cars driving by your yard, buses going by your yard, trash companies going by your yard, airplanes flying over, factories, everything going into the air is settling on your yard, and it's glazed over and will not allow the water to penetrate. That's a huge problem. We got to get off the chemicals. We got to get back to nature and get the water soaking in. Step one. That's the huge importance to this. That's the huge variable. People so the rain coming, it's going to flood my basement. It's going to do all this damage. We're not going to be able to go to work. Trees are going to fall over because there's nothing below the tree. It's gone. It's all clay. The tree can't even hold on to it anymore. It has spread its roots out so high over the top that there's nothing there. So when you drive through neighborhoods and the tree is just toppled over and taken the entire root ball with it, and it's flat underneath, there's the problem. There's the problem. You don't see that in nature. It's not happening. It's starting to, because somebody is spraying in the air above the forests and it's starting to affect the forests. We've got to stop some things, but let's start in our yards first and make a difference. They see that I've got nobody, so there's not a whole bunch of reason for me to keep going. I'd like people to actually watch this and maybe learn something today. Sticky notes, people. Just a little bit of water. It'll prove my point. Just a couple of sticky notes. Anyhow, I need the Amazon reviews, everybody. It has its own budget. They do their own thing over there. And the more word gets out about the book, the less I'm going to be asking of you guys on YouTube. It's one way to it's one way to shut me up. There are others, but it's one way to shut me up. Anyhow, appreciate everybody stopping by and watching this today. I hope I helped a little bit. I hope the sticky note analogy rings to somebody and explains it to somebody. Because that's what's happening. That's what's going on. We've glazed everything over. The water's not penetrating and we're not going anywhere. We've got to get that penetration factor back so that what little rains we do get can actually effectively make a difference and not run down the street. You guys have a great day. It's been nice talking to you. My voice is almost back. Wonderful. We'll see you all around the channels.